How to scale your rent-to-rent empire the right way. Look, take it from me, I've scaled to 7 figures and beyond. I've had 12 staff. I've realized what I've done right, what I've done wrong. And in this video, I'm gonna share it with you so that you don't make the same mistakes. Scaling is where it's at. Look, you can have 1 or 2 rent-to-rents, but it's not going to make a significant impact. The impact that you probably want on your life unless you do it at scale. But to the flip side, if you overscale, scale too fast too soon, don't have the systems in place, or split yourselves between too many different arms of the business, you will go mental, you could fall flat on your face. Now, when I started, it was all about just grafting and doing whatever it took to get the cash flow up. That's all I was doing. But then what happened was I ended up building layers and layers. I was doing SA, I was doing HMO, I was doing BRRs, I was helping people on their journey. And it becomes quite overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing, if you've not got a clear plan. Well, this year is the year of the payoff. So what I've had to do is take a really hard look at what I'm doing that's paying off and what I'm doing that's not, and fine tune my systems. So if I was gonna scale again, let's say I was doing rent to rent, the first thing I would recommend doing is picking a strategy and sticking to it. And yes, the rent to part of rent to rent is the same whether you're HMO or SA. But as soon as you get the property, oh my goodness, it's completely different. So what I'd be saying to you is look for both, but then when you hit on one, focus on that one and go deep. You know, get 10 SAs or 10 HMOs and systemize it. The second thing is, when it comes to team, less is more. Less cooks in the kitchen. But you need to know where to hire. And I personally realize there's 2 key hires that you're gonna need when you're probably getting to that 10, 15, 20 mark of staff, quote, team members. The first one is a front of office person that's gonna do errands. If you do an SA, they might help with the cleaners, help with the setup, help with the photo shoots, help with any guest issues and all that stuff, inspecting the properties. And then the back office would be your channel managers, your OTAs, your calling guests, customer service reviews, all that stuff. If you're doing HMO, then your front of office is gonna be inspections, viewings, move-ins, move-outs, you know, guest relationships out there, setting up the properties, doing the fire safety stuff. Then the back office is going to be your tenancy agreements, your applications, your checks, your maintenance, back office stuff. And that's all you really need until you get to around 20, 25 deals. Now, you can do part-time, which can work well. Full-time is always preferable. I've learned this time and time again. And the simple reason is, if people are split between 5 different things or 10 different things, it's only natural that every now and then they're going to get overwhelmed and they're not going to be able to be as in your business as you would like. That's just human nature. I'm the same. If I only commit 10 hours to something a week, then clearly I'm not going to be able to compete with people that are doing it at the highest level. And the issue you're going to have is that if you are brand new and you're competing with the big agencies. In fact, I've got an agency near me. I drive down there and every Saturday I can see them there. There's 3 people in there, 9 through 5, whilst we're technically not really doing that much. And that's when I begin to realize if I want to compete with that, I've got to do that. Otherwise, I've got to go home, go hard or go home. So what I recommend is you've got you here, you've got a front of office person that does the front stuff, you've got an admin person that does the admin stuff, and then you liaise and oversee that. Now, eventually, you're going to want to replace yourself in there. But I realize it's far better to replace yourself when there's 1, 2, 3 than there is when there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So personally, I think you should be able to scale to around 30 deals of the same style, HMO or SA, with just 2 people doing that. But you're going to need to stick to one, and you're going to need to work on systems and processes. And you're going to have to pick your battles and wars, because it doesn't matter what business you're in. Every now and then stuff's going to go wrong. And when it does, you got to wipe yourself off. You got to be resilient. You got to keep it moving and you got to keep pushing on. What is the perfect amount of scale? Well, I think I've actually been guilty of overscaling at times. and over pushing. So this year is the year of the payoff for me. I'm looking to monetize and systemize and strategize and make sure that I'm not just scaling for the sake of it, because scaling and then compromising your time and all the work that you've done kind of defeats the point. And I'm at a stage now where, you know, we've got 2, 3, 7-figure property businesses, and it's like, I want to have a level of systemization and enjoy it, okay? Enjoy it for a minute before constantly compounding on everything. So if you get to 8 deals and you're doing 7, 8 grand a month and you're off work, it's fine to chill and enjoy that for a minute. Don't feel the stress of scaling for the sake of it. Remember, less properties is more. Less is more. People say to me, I want to get 20 deals. And I'm like, well, what happens if you could achieve the same cash flow from 10 deals that you could from the 20 deals that you've got in mind? You should definitely do the 10 deals, because less roofs, less landlords, less tenants, less guests, less everything, and more optimization. So, hope you find this useful. If you're looking to scale, remember these key principles. You might need just to rewatch it a couple times and just get the key themes and lessons. But I've made some mistakes along my way. But to be fair, it's got me to where I am. And even my mistakes have served me in terms of what I've scaled and built. And the best thing about it is I can now share my journey with you and hopefully help you so you don't make the same mistakes as me. If you found this useful, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.